Today I'm going to be planting some pea seeds. Well, even if you could read it, it's going to be backwards. So we're planting some pea seeds. These are supposed to vine, so I'm hoping they'll grow on this trellis. I have 2 of them, so even if they don't grow all the way up, then it's still going to be like 12 feet of growing space, like width-wise, and it's going to be plenty, I hope. So I plant these like pretty thick, so like everything else, if half of them get 8, then still got half. Does anyone else hate the smell of marigold seeds or marigolds? I do. So basically what I'm doing is just sliding over my mulch. And then I just sprinkle it on the ground. And then I poke them in. And you can move them around with your finger. It is so much easier than having to plant it any other way, for me. And then cover them up. These right here are the beans that I planted over the summer, and I just leave them there so they contribute to the soil health. During the summer, I tend to plant out almost every spot in my garden, but during the winter, I only plant a few lines of things because you can only eat so many greens a week before you get tired of them. But I have been planting different varieties of English peas. Never grown English peas before, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I have no idea which variety does best in my zone or my area, or what variety I like the best. But I got like 4 different varieties. 3 planted, 1 left to plant, and we'll see how that goes. The one I planted today was an heirloom. Thomas something. I forgot it. And I don't know the names of the rest of them. But I also got some cabbage planted. I got the seeds from my grandma. And they're supposed to be like a small cabbage. So let's see if I can grow that one. I also have some chives planted at the corners and some rosemary in the middle. I want to have some kind of herbs planted in the middle, the front of these beds, so when you first walk in, then you see something green. For example, That's where you walk in, and that first bed up there. I like to have something, some kind of green herb that stays in there year round that's green. So like I said, my greens are all planted in rows along the sides of my beds. And one of the reasons for that is because so winter things that I plant this time of the year, it takes forever for them to grow and to mature. So sometimes like my bigger root crops like rutabagas, like it takes them longer into the summer before like the last ones to be harvested and ate. So by planting them on the sides, it gives me time to plant everything else I want to plant in the middle. And then later on, when these are pulled out, then I can come through and plant them with a shorter variety type plant like beans. I lost my train of thought. And I also still have my sweet potato vines. Still haven't pulled them out yet. I'm pretty sure it's been 90 days since I planted them. But the longer you leave them in there, the bigger they'll be. And I don't know, with that many vines, I only planted 2 sweet potatoes, so maybe there's some big ones in there. And I'm pretty sure if you plant whole sweet potatoes, it takes longer than sets. At least I think that's what I read. I could be wrong. But I can tell that my sweet potatoes are getting bigger because they're starting to poke out of the ground like more. But here are my sweet potatoes again. And I just found a new one right there. Also, like that looks like a really big sweet potato. And I'm hoping it is. That's the only one I see on this side. So one of the reasons I hate growing root vegetables is not knowing what's going on underneath. Like I can't stand not knowing. What is it, baby? Is it something? No.